You think cheaters are just weak people making bad choices? You think if you love them enough, treat them right, or are special enough, they'll be faithful to you. You're wrong. Certain personality types are fundamentally incapable of sustained monogamy. Not because they're evil or don't care, but because their brain is literally wired for behaviors that make cheating inevitable. And you keep dating these people because they're charismatic, exciting, confident, and excellent at making promises. Stop believing they'd never do that to me. If they have these traits, they will cheat. It's not if, it's when. I'm about to show you the research-backed personality patterns that predict infidelity with frightening accuracy. Trait number 1, narcissism. Research tells us that narcissistic personality is one of the strongest predictors that someone will be unfaithful. Not just a little self-centered. Actual narcissistic traits characterized by entitlement, need for admiration, and hypersensitivity to ego threats. Here's what narcissism looks like in relationships. They genuinely believe they deserve better than what they have, even when what they have is objectively good. They create stories in their head that they're not being treated fairly, that they deserve better. This makes them constantly compare you unfavorably to others, real or imagined. When someone more attractive, successful, or exciting shows interest, their narcissism tells them, of course this person wants me, and I deserve to have what I want. They don't experience normal relationship guilt because their entitlement overrides it. The brutal truth? Grandiose narcissism is linked to favorability toward infidelity, especially in women. If your partner displays narcissistic traits, they're not just at risk of cheating. They're actively viewing infidelity as something they're entitled to if the right opportunity presents itself. Trait number 2, psychopathy. Psychopathy predicts all forms of infidelity and may be attributed to the callous, thrill-seeking, and impulsive nature of these individuals. Before you think, my partner isn't a psychopath, understand that psychopathy exists on a spectrum. High psychopathy traits include lack of empathy, thrill-seeking behavior, impulsivity, and inability to feel guilt. These people cheat not because the relationship is bad, but because the opportunity for excitement presents itself and they lack the internal brake system that stops most people. They don't agonize over whether cheating is wrong. They don't feel your pain if you find out. They might intellectually understand it hurts you, but they don't feel it emotionally. So the cost-benefit analysis for cheating is completely different for them than for people with normal empathy levels. The callous, thrill-seeking, and impulsive nature combined with poor impulse control means they're not thinking, should I do this to my partner? They're thinking, this is exciting and I want it. Trait number 3, low conscientiousness combined with high impulsivity. Studies consistently show that individuals low in conscientiousness are more likely to cheat. Low conscientiousness and high psychoticism are equally strong predictors of mild and serious infidelity, sharing the common component of impulsivity and inability to delay gratification. Low conscientiousness means they're disorganized, careless, self-indulgent, and have difficulty resisting temptation. They find it very difficult to resist attractive others and maintain personal boundaries. These aren't moral failings they're working on. These are stable personality traits. When someone attractive flirts with them, they lack the self-control to shut it down. When opportunity for infidelity presents itself, they lack the forward-thinking ability to consider long-term consequences. They're operating on immediate gratification circuitry. It may be that impulsivity gives rise to increased likelihood of infidelity, as people with high impulsivity and low dependability are more likely to act on sexual opportunities. Notice the research doesn't say might act. It says are more likely to act. This is predictable behavior based on personality structure. Trait number 4, high neuroticism combined with low self-esteem. People who cheat in romantic relationships score higher on neuroticism. Neuroticism was significantly and positively associated with infidelity because people with high impulsivity and low dependability may be more likely to act on sexual opportunities. Neurotic individuals with low self-esteem use external validation to regulate their emotions. They need constant reassurance that they're attractive, desirable, and valuable. When their partner can't provide that constant validation, which no human can, they seek it elsewhere. If someone new shows interest, it provides the ego boost they're craving. The affair isn't about you failing them. It's about them using other people as emotional regulation tools. You can't give them enough validation to fill the void because the void is internal. This is why people with these traits cheat even in good relationships. The relationship quality is irrelevant when the cheating serves an internal psychological need for validation. Trait number 5, high extraversion with openness to experience. People who cheat score higher on openness to experience and extraversion. Individuals high in extraversion are more prone to infidelity. Extroversion means they're energized by social interaction, novelty, and external stimulation. Openness means they're curious, seek new experiences, and have less rigid boundaries around what's acceptable behavior. Combined, these traits create people who are constantly seeking new experiences and social connections. They meet new people constantly. They're curious about what those connections could become. They're energized by attention from multiple sources, and they're open to experiences that might violate relationship boundaries. This doesn't make them bad people, but it makes them high risk for monogamy, especially long-term monogamy, where novelty naturally decreases over time. Trait number 6, Machiavellianism and manipulative tendencies. Machiavellian people view relationships strategically. They calculate costs and benefits. They manipulate situations to serve their interests. And they're exceptionally good at compartmentalizing moral concerns. These people cheat strategically. They maintain affairs while managing multiple relationships. They manipulate timelines, stories, and digital footprints to avoid getting caught. They're not impulsively cheating. They're planning it. The terrifying part, they're often the least likely to get caught because they're skilled manipulators. By the time you discover infidelity, it's been happening far longer than you imagined, managed with calculated precision. Trait number 7, borderline personality features with emotional volatility. Borderline personality disorder is characterized by unstable emotions. They are partners who are fundamentally emotionally unstable and inherently unreliable. These individuals experience intense emotional swings, fear of abandonment, and unstable relationships. When they feel you pulling away, real or imagined, they might cheat as both punishment and backup plan. When they're feeling abandoned, they seek intense connection elsewhere to fill the void. Their relationships are chaotic cycles of idealization and devaluation. During devaluation phases, cheating feels justified because you're the bad guy in that moment. During idealization of someone new, that person becomes perfect and worth pursuing. Here's what connects all 7 traits. They're not about you. You can be perfect, and they'll still cheat because the cheating serves psychological needs or follows brain patterns that your behavior can't influence. You can't love narcissism out of someone. You can't provide enough validation to fix low self-esteem and neuroticism. You can't make a psychopathic person develop empathy. You can't turn an impulsive person conscientious through good behavior. These are stable personality traits that either exist or don't. And when they exist, they predict infidelity with statistical reliability. This is why "they'd never do that to me" is dangerous thinking. You're not special enough to override someone's personality structure. Their brain works how it works, regardless of how amazing you are. Here's what you need to understand. Not everyone with these traits cheats every time. Personality traits predict likelihood, not certainty. But the prediction is strong enough that gambling on "maybe I'll be the exception" is terrible strategy. If your partner displays multiple traits from this list, the statistical probability of infidelity is high. You can choose to take that risk, but do it with eyes open, not with magical thinking about how your love will be different. The real question isn't, will they cheat, but do I want to invest in someone where research suggests cheating is highly probable based on their personality structure? Some people will say this is judgmental or unfair. It's not. It's pattern recognition based on decades of research. We use personality traits to predict job performance, relationship satisfaction, and mental health outcomes. Why wouldn't we use them to predict relationship behaviors like infidelity? Here's your action plan. Stop ignoring personality red flags because someone is charming or exciting. Charm and excitement often accompany the exact traits that predict cheating. Evaluate potential partners on stable personality characteristics, not temporary feelings or promises. If you're already with someone displaying multiple traits from this list, make informed decisions. Don't stay because you hope they're the exception. Don't stay because they promise they'd never hurt you. Stay only if you're willing to accept the statistically probable outcome. And if you're the person recognizing these traits in yourself, understand that awareness is the first step. Personality traits aren't destiny, but they require conscious management. If you know you're impulsive, narcissistic, or validation-seeking, you need to build systems and boundaries that protect against acting on those traits. Subscribe for more research-backed relationship content that respects your intelligence. Tell me in the comments which trait you've encountered most in partners who cheated. "They'd never do that to me" doesn't change someone's personality structure. Recognize the patterns, trust the research, and make decisions that protect yourself.